mathematicians. Today we see a nice real analysis problem about Riemann integration, which is asked in 2016 June CSIR exam. Define f on close 0, comma 1 by f of x equal to x square if x is rational and x cube if x is irrational. Then the given options are f is not Riemann integrable, f is Riemann integrable, and the integral 0 to 1 f of x dx equal to 1 by 4, f is Riemann integrable and integral 0 to 1 f of x dx equal to 1 by 3, and fourth option is the lower Riemann integration of f of x is 1 by 4, the upper Riemann integration of integral 0 to 1 f of x is 1 by 3. Okay. So which of the following options are true? It is a part C problem. More than one option is true. So you see I have marked the option 1 and 4 are true. So let's see why this is the case. Okay. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, and if you like my videos, please share with your friends and click the like button also. Okay, let's see how to solve this problem. First, the graph of this function looks like this. Okay. So this is graph of f of x equal to, sorry, so this is the graph of f of x equal to x cube. Similarly, this is the graph of f of x equal to x square. Okay, so we call it a g of x, we call this function h of x, but only on rational and irrational we have respectively x square and x cube, right? Therefore, if this point is rational, then its image will be x square. Okay, if this point is irrational, its image will be in x cube. Okay, so basically the graph looks like on the point x square lot of dots, provided this point is a rational number. Similarly, on the line, on the curve f of x will be x cube lot of dots, provided this point is an irrational number. Okay, so this is how the graph of this function looks like. So I mean, one simple easy way to do is like a function is Riemann integrable if and only if the function is continuous almost everywhere. Okay, but this function will be continuous only at origin. Okay, that is one way of doing that. So from that you can conclude that this function is not Riemann integrable. But even if you conclude it is not Riemann integrable, you need to know basics of Riemann integration to deal with the last option. Okay, so we do a very simple different approach using upper sum and lower sum. So we define fn of x equal to x power n, this function. Okay, so now we observe that x cube, that is f3 of x, less than or equal to f of x. F of x is our given function, less than or equal to f2 of x, that is x square, that is x cube less than or equal to f of x less than or equal to x square for all x. Why? For all x belongs to close 0, comma 1. We are talking about everything about close 0, comma 1 only. So maybe I'll write for all x belongs to close 0, comma 1. Okay, why? Because if I take x belongs to close 0, comma 1, if x is rational, then f of x will be equal to x square. Okay, so f of x will be equal to x square, but for that point, not that for the points lying in close 0, comma 1, x cube is less than or equal to x square always. Okay, therefore for a rational x we get x cube less than or equal to f of x equal to x square. In particular, this inequality is preserved. If x is irrational, then f of x will be x cube, so we'll get equality this side, but again the points are in close 0, comma 1, so x square will be greater than or equal to x cube. Okay, so we get this inequality. We use this inequality to evaluate our decide, I mean lower and upper sum of these functions. So first we need to fix a partition of the interval close 0, comma 1. And so what is mi of a function? Okay, that is what this mi is, what very important in Riemann integration. So mi is the infimum of this function. So f3 of x is x cube, infimum of this function in the ith part of the partition. Okay, you see this is maybe x naught to x naught. So 0 to 1 we have split it into various partition. So this is x naught, say this is x1, this is x2, then this is my xi minus 1, this is xi, then lot of other parts, then finally we have my what xn is to be 1. Okay, so basically this is how we define the partition, and this is my xi minus 1 and xi. So this is my x0 x1, this is x1 x2, this is x2 x3, this is x3 x4, and finally this is xi minus 1 xi. Then finally you will have xi minus 1 xi somewhere here. Okay, so this mi denote the minimum of infimum of this function in the ith interval. So in this interval xi minus 1 xi, we have to calculate the infimum of this function x cube. But x cube is an increasing function, therefore its minimum will attain at the left end point. Therefore we get in mi of small mi of f3 of x equal to xi minus 1 cube. Okay, similarly we calculate the mi of small mi of f of x, our given function f of x. Okay, so if you look at the graph of f of x, so f of x is lot of dots here. So say for example we call, sorry, so this is my xi minus 1, this is xi. So in this part we have to, there will be lot of dots in the graph of f of x. Okay, note that. So the minimum will occur again at the left end point xi minus 1. Okay, so recall that the graph of f of x is lot of dots. Okay, if this is rational, then the dots will be on the x square. If this point is irrational, then the dots will be on x cube. Okay, therefore to calculate the infimum of the function f of x in xi minus 1 and xi, so we have to basically look at this portion of graph of x cube. So x cube, sorry, f of x. So the f of x, this is the graph of f of x, the both the upper curve and the lower curve, but we have to visualize it as a lot of dots. Then the minimum is precisely attained at xi minus 1 for the graph x cube, because x square is greater than or equal to x cube in close 0 comma 1. Okay, so we conclude that small mi of f of x equal to again equal to xi minus 1 whole cube. Okay, so we get a small mi of f3 of x equal to small mi of f of x. Then for this partition, the for this fixed partition p, say p, so we call it p. For this fixed partition p, the lower sum of the function x cube with respect to partition p is defined to be summation I equal to 1 mi of delta xi, where delta xi is xi minus xi minus 1, that is length of this interval. Okay, so note that this is my first part, second part, third part, then ith part, then lot of parts. This is my last part, xn minus 1 xi. So in each of this part I have to look at the infimum of the function f of x and multiply it by length of this interval, then finally I have to sum it, that is a value. So this is mi is the minimum of the function in the interval xi minus n xi, then delta xi is the length of this interval. Okay, so now note that this once you fix the partition, this is the fixed partition, this delta xi's are some constant numbers. Okay, so now this mi for f3 of x and f of x are same, that is what we proved here. Note that mi of small mi of f3 of x equal to small mi of f of x. Okay, therefore this lower sum of f3 of x for this partition p is equal to lower sum of f of x for this partition p, because both the functions share, both functions have equal small mi. Okay, therefore so similarly what you can prove is upper sum of f2 of x is equal to upper sum of f of x. Okay, basically instead of minimum infimum here you have to take supremum to define capital mi. Note that again if you look at the supremum of the function f of x in the interval xi minus 1 and xi, the supremum will occur here, x square. Therefore you will get the supremum will be xi square. Okay, so similarly you just do the same thing, you will get that upper sum of f2 of x with respect to the partition p equal to upper sum of f of x with respect to the partition p. Okay, therefore now by definition the lower integral value of in integral 0 to 1 f of x dx is supremum of all supremum of lower sum over all partitions. Okay, but lf of, so but lf of p is equal to lf3 of p, that is what we have proved here. So supremum of over p, lf3 of p is the lower integral of x cube dx. Okay, So note that this is the definition of lower integral of the function x cube, but x cube is a continuous function, therefore it is Riemann integrable. If it is Riemann integrable, it is lower integration is equal to the actual integration. So equal this is equal to integral 0 to 1 x cube dx, which is equal to 1 by 4. Okay, therefore for f of x, the lower integration value is 1 by 4. Similarly, you can prove that upper using our second observation, upper sum of f2 equal to upper sum of f. Using that, you can prove that Riemann integration of f of x is equal to integral 0 to 1 x square dx, which is equal to 1 by 3. Okay, now for f of x, lower Riemann integration and upper integration, they are not equal. Okay, a function is Riemann integrable if its lower integration and upper integration values are same. Since we are getting these two values are different, we conclude that this function f is not Riemann integrable. But the final option is, I think I made it. Oh, sorry, this is true. Okay. Even though, okay, so but the final option is true. Only this option is true. F is not Riemann integrable because they have a different lower and upper integration value. If a function is Riemann integrable, then its lower integral and upper integral value should coincide. Okay. Okay, guys, if you learned something new from this video, please click the like button and share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.